So when thinking about racism and classism, I cannot say I've personally observed this, strictly because Ashland, where I grew up, was not very diverse and in race or class. Everyone, like, there's obviously people who have more money than others, but I didn't really observe people of different classes discriminating against others who didn't have as much money. And then I've really only heard stories about this happening because, yes, Ashland wasn't very diverse, but I never heard of any of the kids who weren't white being discriminated against by a teacher or anything like that. But obviously in the podcast it talks about how 83% of black boys being suspended, and that's a crazy statistic to me because it was never the black kids that were bad in my high school or even younger than that. They were always well behaved and didn't act out. It was the white kids that were bad and were suspended. And the 19 states that are still allowed to hit students is crazy to me. I would assume that number has changed because it talked about this podcast being during the Obama administration, which would have been years ago at this point, but it's still crazy that at that point 19 states were still allowed to hit students. And yeah.